Welcome. Today we are going to discuss how to draw, design, and prepare to cut our name plaque using Autodesk Inventor and Inventor HSM. Starting in the ribbon bar, we're going to create New, Standard IPT, and click Create. We're going to begin with a 2D sketch on our XY plane, and I'm going to click the front of my world cube in order to zoom all. Choose your rectangle from the top ribbon bar, and we're going to begin by starting at our origin. Wait for you to get the green dot. Once you have the green dot, click and stretch this rectangle to the upper right hand quadrant. My horizontal dimension for my workpiece is 8 inches, and then I'm going to press the tab key on the keyboard. My vertical dimension is going to be 4 inches, so I'm going to type 4 and press enter on the keyboard. Once I have these dimensions in, I'm going to click the big green check mark in the upper right hand corner, Finish Sketch. I'm going to zoom all. And now I'm going to take and extrude using my extrude tool from the ribbon bar. I want to extrude in direction number 2, which places my sketch on the front. I'm going to change my distance of my workpiece for the extrusion to 3/4 of an inch or 0.75 and click OK. Next, I need to create another rectangle on here for my text to be sunken into. In order to do that, I'm going to take and click 2D Sketch, place it on my front view. Once again, zoom all. And I'm going to start with another rectangle somewhere down the lower left-hand corner by my workpiece. I want to be on the workpiece, which is identified by the gray area on the screen. I'm going to click and begin drawing a rectangle. My horizontal dimension for this rectangle is 7.25, 7¼ inches. Press the tab key on the keyboard. And my vertical height of this rectangle is 2.25. Press enter on the keyboard. Next, I need to take and center this rectangle top to bottom and left to right. Let's begin doing that by pressing escape to let go of my rectangle tool. And I'm going to choose my dimension tool from the top ribbon. Once I have my dimension tool, I'm going to click the left-hand side of my rectangle I just drew and the left-hand side of my workpiece and bring this dimension down. This dimension here is 3/8 of an inch or 0.375, and then click green check mark. That centers my rectangle right to left. Now I need to center the rectangle top to bottom. So I'm going to click my bottom of the rectangle we just drew and the bottom of the workpiece. Bring this dimension out to the side. This dimension is 3/4 of an inch or 0.75 in a decimal. Green check mark. Now that my rectangle is centered, I'm going to take and green check mark Finish Sketch in the upper right hand corner of my ribbon, and I'm going to extrude. I want to select the rectangle that I just drew, and I want to choose this button right here, which is Cut. Then I'm going to change my distance from 0.75 to 0.188 or 3/16 of an inch and press OK. Now I have the rectangle, the pocket area for where my text is going to go. I'm going to take and place my text on this bottom surface here. So to do that, we're going to take and start with a 2D sketch on the bottom surface of this rectangle. Zoom all. I'm going to use my text tool. I'm going to click to place my text, and this gives me my pop-up text box. I'm going to leave my font at Toma. However, I'm going to change the size of my letters to 1.25, and then I'm going to type the name that I want to enter. When I type my name, I want to have a space in between each letter so that the toolpath can, or that the tool cutter can cut in between each of the letters. So I'm going to take and press the space bar after each letter. Now, that space bar that we put in between each letter gives me a 1.25 inch height space. That's a little bit too big for my cutter, and it's going to look a little weird when it cuts out. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to highlight each space, and I'm going to change each space to 0.24 from the drop down menu right here. And that's going to pull that together, and it's going to give it enough space for my cutter in order to pass in between the two letters. Once again, highlight each space, change it to 0.24, and you're going to continue doing this until you have all the spaces in between your letters changed to 0.24. So my letter height is 1.25, however my letter spacing is 0.24. Once you have that done, click OK. Press the escape key to let go of your text tool. And then I'm going to take my text and center it top to bottom, left to right on my block. And here I just place it in there to make sure that it fits. When I'm finished centering my text, I'm going to click the green check mark Finish Sketch, and I'm going to use my Emboss feature from the toolbar at the top in the ribbon, and I want to select my text, and I want to have this first one selected, which is Emboss, and I'm going to emboss 0.188, which is 3/16 of an inch, and I'm going to select OK. Now that I have my part drawn, I'm going to take and go to the orange capital letter I. I'm going to save as, and I'm going to go and find my H drive, which is first initial last name 000, and my file part name that I'm going to put in here is my last name, and I'm going to type name plaque. Once you have your name and name plaque typed in, you're going to click Save. Now let's take a look at running our Toolpaths. Above the ribbon bar there are these tabs up here. We want to select the tab that says CAM, and I'm going to choose Setup from the ribbon. The browser bar on the left hand side changes to our CAM tab, and in this first one we always go top to bottom and left to right, working these tabs across. So in my work coordinate system, I'm going to change my origin from stock box point to model origin, and that's going to move my origin down to the lower left hand corner just like I drew it in my model. Next, I'm going to take and choose stock setup, which is the next tab over, and in the stock setup here I want to change this distance of 1 inch to 0.75, 3/4 of an inch, and that's going to show and illustrate that it matches my workpiece. Next, I'm going to choose my post process, and here in my program comment I'm going to type my name and name plaque. Then I'm going to select OK. Next, I want to choose 2D Pocket from the ribbon up here in the top, 2D Pocket, and I want to select my tool. These tools are a little bit challenging to find since this window is a little small. I want to find Sample Tools Inch, which is selected right here, and in the Samples Tools Inch I want to scroll down until I can find my 1/8 inch end mills, my flat end mills, which are here. There are 6 of them listed. I want to choose the 1 2/3 1/8 inch flat end mill down and select. Next, I'm going to select my geometry, so I want to click my geometry tab, and I want to choose the areas I want removed. So this area here I want removed, and I'm going to click to select it. And then when I zoom in, I also want the inside bottom of each of my letters in the A and the O to also be selected. I'm going to zoom out. Once I have that finished, I'm going to move on to my heights. Here I'm going to change my clearance height to stock top. I'm going to set my clearance height to 0.2. Let's take a look at our retract height. Stock top 0.2. And then we're going to take a look at our feed height. I'm going to change from to stock top and 0.2. Okay, so these should all be the same for the top three. Now I'm going to take a look at my Passes tab. In here, where it says Stock to Leave, I'm going to deselect this because I want it to be right to the letter edge and right to the box edge. Next, I'm going to choose my linking parameters, and in here I'm going to deselect Lead In. I'm going to deselect Lead Out, uncheck those two, and then my entry ramp I'm going to change from helix to a plunge. Once I have these selected, I'm going to click OK down at the bottom of the menu, and it's going to process this right here, and it's going to show your illustration for your toolpaths. Once you have that done, you can click Simulate and press play, and it's going to cut the same way that it's going to cut on the CNC Mill. Once that has run through, you're going to click Close on the menu down here at the bottom, and then we're going to click Post Process. We want to choose the post processor from this pull down menu to 1_Butler Middle School Techno ESOL, this one right here. If it doesn't automatically come up, you have to click on the pull down menu, and it should be the top one on the list. We also want to change our output folder by clicking this box right here, and I want to make sure it is selected for my first initial last name 000. This is my H drive. And then I'm going to take and put in a program comment and name plaque. And then click Post. My file name, I'm going to type in once again and click Save. It shows me my M&G codes for running the mill, and it shows my program comment up here, so I know which part this is. Once this is selected, I'm going to click the X in the upper right hand corner to close that out. I'm going to X out of Inventor, and on the desktop there should be this icon called CNC Mill. I'm going to click to select that, and I'm going to go to Translate Execute. I'm going to select my H drive, and I'm going to scroll down in my H drive until I can find my part for my name plaque. My name and name plaque, the NCD file is the one I want to select. And click Open. Here we're going to select OK, and we're going to preview. Once you have this up on your screen, you're going to stop here, call your teacher over so that they can check your Toolpaths out, and we're going to take a look at the side and view of your part to make sure that your Toolpaths are below the origin. This is what your instructor wants to see. Call them over so that they can check it out, and you can continue cutting your part. Great job so far. Next step is cutting your part on the CNC Mill.